is not Jimmy behind the camera today and doing our YouTube. He's just flat out fishing. And we just wanted to show a little bit about what it takes to get the pecans from tree to table. And what you are seeing is our first of the year spraying, and he is spraying zinc and nitrogen and a pesticide to kill case bearer bugs, which I really don't know what those are. We'll ask Carl when he stops here in a little bit about what case bearers are. I do know that they are very destructive to our pecan trees. Well, you can see Carl way over there. This is just one area of the ranch that we've got, probably about 10 or 12 trees in. Our pecans are all natives, and come October, November, we'll start hard and heavy getting everything ready and getting the harvest going, and then you can buy them on Jimmy Houston pecans and have them for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So he's got to drive all around getting all our little batches of trees. We've got one big field that's got a whole bunch of trees in it. He's been driving around spraying. Not a hard job, but a tedious job, and he's got to know how to mix the chemicals just right. And then once they hay, our work will start coming in and brush hogging under the trees, picking up all the limbs, because they do drop a lot of limbs throughout the year with the storms coming through. It's just a constant battle picking up the pecan limbs and the other tree limbs, because we've got to get that cleared out before we shake the trees. And basically the harvester is a big vacuum sweeper that goes through the ground. It's kind of cool to watch, and we'll be showing you some of that whenever it comes time. Even after haying, we'll have to brush hog this a couple of times before we do the harvest. It's always a whole lot of fun. But we've got some good tractors. We've got a couple of them with enclosed cabs. That makes it nice. And you see that Savage on the tank. The Savages are our pecan processors, and they're also, I think they're the biggest pecan grower in the state of Oklahoma. And they have been very helpful in teaching us what to do. They do pecan equipment, so if you've got your own pecan groves, you can check out Savage Equipment and get your own. You can see how powerful that sprayer is. Those are really big trees, and the spray goes all the way to the top. Now here we've got some very mature trees to these improved trees that we've planted. We're on 6 years now, I think. And some of them are just now starting to have fruit on them. And I don't think we're going to have to use the big shaker to get these. We can just come along and kind of did this fall and pick them up. We just pick them off. We've got about 50 that we planted, or still have alive. We're going to have to put some more in and fill in our holes. We call this the cemetery because you can see all lined up in rows like little cemeteries. We've got some trees that didn't live from when we first planted, and we've got some, as you can see, did really good. And it's been really neat watching these trees grow from little twigs to these big things right here. You really see the mist and the size of the trees, our big trees, our little trees. We've just got all kinds of trees. Okay, so now we're checking out our, what we call the big pecan field. So you can see we have it hay back here. You can tell how tall it all is, even in relation to the trees. But the one good thing about us not being able to get it hayed is when we come up here to check to see how wet it was, we did scare up a a few fawns and just let it be. So this is late haying for us has allowed our fawns to survive the tractors coming through here. Oh, here's some of our baby pecans that we're trying to protect with our fertilizer and insecticide. What? The trees are all just, see how low the limbs are hanging? They've just got them all weighted down. So our crop is going to be really good this year. Yeah. We're going to have to be careful when we brush hog that we don't knock limbs off. We always lose a few. That's just part of it because they're hanging down so low. You can see we've got some storm busted limbs we're going to have to come in and cut. And we'll pile it all up, pile all our sticks up out there in the middle where there's no trees, and we'll burn them. That'll be back winter time. And we've got us a couple of hunting stands back here. My favorite place to hunt on the whole property. It's trees as far as you can see. I know this might not be politically correct, but one of the fun parts of shaking the trees is, you know what lives in pecan trees and what is the bane of every deer hunter sitting in a stand? Are tree rats, also known as squirrels. And when we start shaking the trees, sometimes the squirrels come falling out. I'm sorry, folks. It's just too funny when it happens. They come falling out of the trees and flop on the ground, and then they take off as fast as they can trying to get in another tree. And it's just really amusing because I know every deer hunter out there has been sitting in a tree and thought the big one was coming up behind them, and you turn around and it's one of those stinking tree rats. Sometimes driving around on the ranch, you just have to take life slow and wait. And wait. See, sometimes God makes you slow down whenever you don't want to. By putting things in your path. See all those big trees right through there? Them's all pecans. Carl's already come and sprayed these. Lots and lots of nuts. I guess you could say Jimmy lives at the nut house or the nutty farm. Quite appropriate for him, huh? More trees. This is what area of our ranch that I named the park. I spent a lot of time this spring getting this field all cleaned up. Piles and piles of pecan limbs. And now it looks like some of the best parks you can find in the city, but who needs to go to the city when you've got it out here at home? And pecan trees and more pecan trees. You get a tree. You get a tree. Everybody gets a tree. That's what we do whenever we're picking up the limbs at shaking time. Okay, well, Carl's got all the spraying done here. So how do you YouTube America? And so we're just going to come up to find out a little bit more about what he's been spraying. That's it. You had the insecticide and zinc and...
Yeah, you put the zinc in there and it absorbs in the leaves of the trees. It does the same thing as nitrogen. It helps the trees grow. And the insecticide is Intrepid, and it's called insect specific. It won't kill any beneficial insects. It only kills the bad insects.
Okay, he said something. What kind of bugs was it we're spraying for this time of year?
Case bears.
Case bears. What are those and what do they do?
They're tiny worms, and they'll go inside the pecan cluster, and they'll kill the whole cluster.
Oh, wow. Okay. So that's what
if you don't get rid of them, you don't have any pecans.
Well, our trees are loaded down right now. How are your trees doing?
They're looking good.
Yeah, they're held now?
Some of them just planted this year, and the oldest ones are 7 years old.
7 years? You
Yeah.
gonna harvest off of them this year?
Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah. No, we're actually going to have a pretty good harvest on the old
Good.
ones. The young
Good.
ones won't have nothing, but the old ones do.
And how many of the old ones you got?
200.
200. Oh my gosh. Yeah, his trees are right along the highway, so we watch every time we go down to
Look at them. Yeah.
and go down to Dixon. We'll spray again in the fall, right?
Yeah.
And that's
You
for
spray for weevils.
weevils. And I know that's what the traps are to see if the weevils
Yeah,
are there.
the weevils are what, if you don't spray for them and you pick up a pecan that's got a worm inside it, that's actually a weevil.
Okay.
And it'll go into the ground, and then next year it'll come back out as a pecan weevil, and it'll put its eggs back in another pecan if you don't keep them killed.
Okay. So that's what we've been doing today. Like I said, we had Carl driving around, and the big old tractor give you an idea of how big those trees are that he's spraying, and how high in the air that spray goes. And like I told you, it looks like an easy job, but he's got to be doing half a dozen things at one time while he's driving it. He's watching for the trees, watching for deer jumping out in front of you, the armadillo holes, what the pressure is, and what's hanging down low. So
if you don't keep your tractor speed right and your pressure right on your sprayer, then you don't get out the right amount of chemical per acre, and it doesn't work.
So it's just wasted time if you
Yeah.
do it like that.
Yeah, you've got to do it right or not do it at all.
And you've been doing pecans how many years?
Probably 35 years.
So he's probably old as some of these trees, as long as some of these trees are.
Now, some of these trees are like that one might be 150 years old.
Oh my gosh, I had no clue. So that great one down at Basil's, the great big one, is
It
how
may
many?
be 300 years old.
Oh my gosh! Now that's the oldest one in the state that they know of. Is that right?
It may be. They said the oldest one in the world is in Old Mexico, and I think it's like 1,500 years old.
Oh wow!
But I don't know how they know that. They probably don't know. That's what they say.
Yeah, because I mean the only way
Yeah.
to know is to kill the tree.
Yeah. But they might, I don't know how they
They probably
figured it
have
out.
some kind of
Yeah.
formula, but it's just neat. So it's not just a matter, the pecans that you go and buy in a bag of Walmart, they're expensive, and there's a reason, because there's a lot of work that goes into getting them from out here on the trees to get them in a bag at Walmart.
The bag you buy at Walmart won't be what you get out here anyway. These
That's
are a
right.
lot better. They're
Oh,
fresh.
yeah, what you order from us this winter will be
This year's crop.
what we picked this fall. That's why we do it so late, is because they're fresh off the trees. So we're gonna let him get back to work. He's got more spraying to get caught up on, and I'm gonna go back and send the guys back down on the lake because Jimmy's going back out fishing again. Talk to y'all later.
Bye.